which I also recorded today, you'll know that we just defeated another one of the bosses in the game. It took me about an hour and a half total to run through the area, collect all the items, and defeat one of the bosses there. There is a separate boss there that I talked about called the Pearl Harbor Beast, which is an electric beast that we will eventually be seeing. But for now, we're actually going to go back to a previous area we've already seen, starting with Central Yarnum, because I want to go back and talk to the guy that's at the windowsill. I don't remember his name right now. And we're also going to go back and talk to the little girl who is now an orphan because we killed her father, who was a beast, and her father killed her mother, who had a great brooch on her neck. We're going to also visit the old woman in this live stream who asked us for a safe place to be. As I talked about, though, we will not be sending the old woman to Yosefica. Instead, we'll be sending her to the place that I was referring to as the Healing Church with the decrepit old woman or man that looks like a beast, but is actually very friendly. Hello, Dennis. Welcome to the live stream. You just missed my previous one where I defeated a boss using Alfred and a fire effect called Fire Paper.
You needn't concern yourself with me. I'm afraid I'm of little help now. But before I take this...
Flame Sprayer.
I make no use of it, but perhaps you. What afflicted me was incurable. But this time gave me hope. Their strange blood bought me time. I was most fortunate. Unharmed by the plague of beasts. I can even die human.
So, let's take a look at the flame sprayer that we just received from him. The flame sprayer will be in our weapons category, of course. A special weapon used by certain members of the Healing Church. Spits searing flames by using blood-imbued quicksilver bullets as a medium. Not the most efficient weapon by any stretch, but sometimes a sea of flames is just what the doctor ordered. Besides, the beasts of Yarnum can always use a good cleansing. So, just by the point of that it uses quicksilver bullets, we know that it's not going to be something that I'm going to be using in my main playthrough of the game. That's all this NPC has to say for now, but as I said, we still have some other NPCs to go and visit that are in this area. So the fastest way, I think, to get to the next NPC is... it may be to go back. Did I open the gate that's down here? I probably didn't, right? No, I didn't. That's unfortunate. I should do that. So we're gonna run forward this way then, if I didn't open the gate. We'll take some shortcuts, but this is the way we need to go. We're gonna drop down here. We're going to do the same type of tactic we were doing before, where we're not actually going to defeat any enemies, we're just going to run around them. And we'll end up back at the NPC where I want to be at. The next NPC that we're going to visit is the little girl who became an orphan that I talked about at the beginning of this live stream. And she was over here. So here we are at the little girl. Right here. No response. Which is exactly what I was expecting. No response is for a reason. We'll find out momentarily why that reason is. But I have to head this way to figure it out. That sucked. So I want to heal and then grab the item because it'll give me my blood vial back. So we're gonna head down here again. I talked about this a little bit in a previous live stream that we were going to be at least visiting the pig one more time for a crucial story point. This would be that story point that I was referring to. So here we are, back at the pig. very angry pig. Reach up there. So now the item that the pig will give us will be different. There'll be an extra item, the red messenger ribbon. And we'll take a look at that immediately. So the red messenger ribbon will be, I think, under apparel, maybe. If it's not under a main... There it is. Okay, red ribbon that messengers are fond of. The thick, pungent red was drawn from the organs of some unfortunate victim. A strange choice indeed, but perhaps for the messengers, wearing this accessory constitutes a form of mourning. So, unfortunately, we know that the little girl, left her house, and we know that that item wasn't there before. So from that we can actually determine the fact that that was the little girl's red ribbon. The next point that we're going to go to is going to be the old woman who wanted a safe haven. So yes, the pig killed the little girl. And we will be returning to this area later. But it won't be for these NPCs. So, climbing up here, catch on fire. Now you just have one hit. Dead. So, like I said, the next place that I actually want to be is going to the old woman's windowsill. We'll stop and collect some items, because why not? So the old woman, what's the quickest way to her? I think the quickest way to her was actually back the way we came. If we drop down at the area near the little girl's window frame, we should arrive pretty much directly at where she was, the old woman was. So we'll head that way. We'll climb 2 sets of ladders, drop back down, and we'll end up in the area where the dogs were. In cages. So first ladder, and then the second ladder's right here, and then we'll end up at the drop down up above. So up we go. The drop down's up here. No response. So the drop down's actually back over in this area up here by where the witches were laughing at us about not wanting let in on the night of the hunt, because it is kind of silly. We'll defeat the dog. Won't be much of a problem this time around. And the old woman is right here.
I've heard I have. Shutting up indoors isn't always enough. Well, if you once had got off your arses, you wouldn't be in this mess. You're obligated to help me, you hear? So what next? Are you going to tell me you're not?
So we have the option of Odin Chapel, Josephicus Clinic, or to withhold information. And we're going to send them to the Odin Chapel, which is the healing church.
What do you know? An outsider worth a nick of salt. Well, don't just stand there. Don't you have work to do? Go slit some throats. Get this mess done with.
So ungrateful is what she was about the fact that I helped her, but that's okay. We're helping people. If you watched my first live stream, you'll likely remember that when I got towards the end of this game, I was frustrated. I'll likely be frustrated again, but it's going better this time. With the fact that I was having difficulty maintaining progress. And what I ended up doing towards the end is killing all the NPCs, which, I mean, I did that in Dark Souls 1 as well. Towards the end, frustrated, just kill the NPCs to gain what they had. I want to have them survive this time. So I'm pretty sure that we're at a dead end at the point where the good healing church is, or whatever, the good chalice church is. So that's a thing. So we'll have to find a separate place to go. We'll go back there and check it out, though, just to make sure that I didn't miss anything, because sometimes I tend to just skip things. Like, behind here, maybe? Yeah, go figure. I don't really need the antidote anymore, though. They got past the boss that is poisonous, but whatever, I guess. So, this kind of looks like, the thing that was at the Odin Chapel. Weird. Strange. It doesn't matter. So, now I need to find a separate pathway. Oh. Well, I guess that's nice. Let's go this way now. I don't know what's down here, where it leads or anything, but... it does just lead back around. Shit. That was just an antidote. That means there's a separate area to get to the Dark Pearl Harvest somewhere else. Shit. Why were they so close together? That hasn't happened in any of the other runs that I did. It's a little weird. Doesn't really matter. I'm trying to think of pathways that we didn't quite explore. We headed into Yharnam, but was there an alternative pathway besides Yharnam? I guess we had the pathway for 1,000 souls that end up wherever else. Actually, let's go to the Tomb of Odin and see if the old woman actually arrived there. That's how we ended up at the area with the Good Chalice Church or whatever. So it might be a good idea to go and look. This is not where I want to be, but it's nearby. I didn't want the Tomb of Odin, I wanted the church. But I think I just have to go a short ways to get there, so it's not a big deal. Here we are. Yes, she is here. Hi.
Oh no, I haven't forgotten. Do you think I owe you something? Well, that's a fine lark, I'd say. This whole mess that Yarnum's in, it's all your fault. You put it to the outsiders. Our blood's ruined, tainted by your ilk. Don't you come near me. I know your type. You. I know.
Okay. Evidently she doesn't like us, which is whatever, but this is open now, which is the old healing church workshop, or something like that. It wasn't an area that we've been to before, so let's head this way. I think this is actually what leads to the Dark Peace Pearl, or whatever its name is. We need to dodge this. So we can get whatever items in here. Communion. So we have our first rune, which is great. Our runes are at the end. Communion rune. Higher blood vial maximum. So it only ups it by 1, which isn't a whole lot, but it's always great to have more. If we look to the ceiling, though, in this area, there's a whole bunch of old workshop weapons that are hung about here that we can just look, that are on display. What we're going to want to do here is, if you look before you actually go in here, you can see that there are lights up here, and usually lights mean some type of enemy. Unless they're white light like that, that's an item. But we want to run, because they will attempt to snipe at us from below. Then once we're under the roof, we're safe, and we can battle. In here, you're also going to want to be careful. There are a lot of different enemies. So I always start with the shield enemy, just because it seemingly makes it a little easier. There is a gun-wielding enemy in here as well. But as long as you're moving a little quicker, it won't be as much of an issue. You can always back up and have time to heal, if nothing else. If you watch the gun enemy, you can actually see when they're going to fire and dodge in time with the shot. It's not too hard, really. Let's run up here, where we're gonna come across another wheelchair guy. If we give him enough time, he will fire again, so we do want to get back to him pretty quickly. As you can see, there's a giant beast outside. We'll heal, and then we're gonna lure him this way, because I don't want to have to deal with him by the sniper that's right outside the door. If we dodge, he'll swing, we can use our special attack, and use the special. Done! So now, as for the sniper, we want to gain their attention, have them fire, but we don't want to be right by the edge, because the shots kind of tend to blow us back a ways, because these are the gunpowder kegs things that we found out before from the rune. We can dodge them, if we're quick enough, but I prefer just to take a few shots and knock them off. Done. So one way around is the right way to go. The other way around, I think, leads to a note. This layer goes all the way around. Okay, so it must be on the top layer that the note is. I always like to stop and read the notes because they are the specific lore in this game, along with the items, because the Dark Souls creators love to do that with items. So there's an entrance. We're not ready to go in the entrance quite yet. Here we go. So an item. And then the other side will hopefully have lore. It'll have lore or a drop-down point to go to somewhere else, because that's how these games always work. It has lore. It's right here. The sky and the cosmos are one. The choir. So I learned about the choir actually after completing the full game the original time. So that is an example of what our flame sprayer weapon would have looked like if I would have actually chosen to use it, but I obviously am not going to. Radiant Sword Hunter badge, so now we also have new items in the shop that we can continue to purchase, but let's read about it real quick just because it's there. One of the badges crafted by the Healing Church, the Radiant Sword indicates the hairs of the will of Ludwig. These hunters are also known as the Holy Blades, and are what remains of the ancient line of heroes that date back to a very early age of honor and chivalry. So, there is a door here. I don't think it'll open. Yeah, I think this is kind of a red herring door, if I remember right. There's a certain door that you can never get through. There isn't a key for it, it's just a locked door. I don't know if it's that one or not. I don't remember. But, it used to be a shortcut, but they changed it in development, and now you can't get through it. Somebody glitched through it by throwing coins, and they found out where it led to. But it was kind of a joke thing, since the people who play Dark Souls are always looking for more and more shortcuts through the game. So yeah, that was a thing that happened. I know there's a way to drop down somewhere, so I need to be able to figure out where that drop down point is. It must not be up here. It might have been down below somewhere. Or maybe I missed it up above. This is gonna go all the way around. Maybe it's on the first floor. I know that there's definitely a drop-down point somewhere. Because I remember dealing with a difficult enemy in an area that's over here that I haven't seen. Ooh, there's a nightmare. Well, that's fuck. Now I can't get the item. There was the drop down though. So this area is something else. There's a way all the way down to the bottom, and there's a way that's not all the way down to the bottom. If you try to get the area that's not all the way down at the bottom, it leads you towards the secret ending of the game, or the best ending, if you will. I'm not going for the best ending this time around. I'll probably still stop there to collect the items. Depending on... So, that's the secret area that I was talking about. It's a little difficult to get to. Yeah. I could still try to get there, I suppose. But, like I said, I may not have the best of luck, at least doing it the first couple of times. I know not everybody has seen my original Bloodborne playthrough. I wish they had. I wish everybody would watch all of my content, because it's usually something I spend quite a bit of time on, playing games that I think that people actually want to see. Like a game by the creator of Dark Souls. But, I understand that not everybody has all the time in the world. I'm wondering if I can jump from here and make it, or if the fall will kill me. The fall might kill me. I think I'm still gonna try and make the jump. I have full health at least, so that'll help. Fuck! I don't know if I can make the jump for here. It says time for courage. I guess I'll try it, maybe. I did not make the jump. However, I didn't die, so I guess that's good. So there's an enemy at the bottom of this that's a little difficult. We're gonna want to land and definitely go like right here on the area where all this junk is, because fall damage is a huge thing in this game, and it always is really picky. Like, it still gave me fall damage even though I did what I was supposed to do. So here's the enemy. This enemy killed me quite a few times my first time around. This time I won't let it. So I got the beast rune from killing it. We'll take a look at both real quick. A secret symbol left behind by the Carol, runesmith of Bergenworth, several rooms related to blood, including communion, which raises the maximum number of blood vials one may carry. This room represents the healing church and its ministers. The blood menstruation, of course, the pursuit of communion. The secret symbol left behind by the Carol, runesmith of Bernsworth. A transcription of the roar of a labyrinth beast. The bearer of the beast rune has accentuated temporary transformation effects. Beast is one of the early Carol runes, as well as the first to be deemed forbidden. The discovery of blood is entailed this discovery of undesirable beasts. So this is a whole nother area. We haven't been here yet, but there is an NPC. Not that one.
A night of curses. A night to remember. Will you say, friend?
So if I knock again, we say the same thing. Yeah, you say the same thing. That's the end of your dialogue. It's fine. So I do need to be careful since this is an area I'm a little bit more unfamiliar with. I do know that there's strange things that happen here. Strange is the polite way of saying it. Those creatures right there normally suck quite a bit. They can be extremely slow, or they can be faster. So this one does a lot of damage, so I need to make sure to not get hit by its major attacks. You are technically supposed to die here, so I'm wondering what happens if you don't. Ooh, a special attack that I can't even see. Thanks. Like I said, though, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to die there. I guess I'll find out in a moment, depending on where it spawns me. Yeah, you are. So, I was a bit annoyed by this the first time that I noticed it. I'll point it out to you since you probably won't know what I'm talking about. You're supposed to die there, but they still take away your blood echoes. And I don't exactly know why. If you're supposed to die there, that they would do that, but they do. And they don't even bother locking you in the giant cage that they put you in, so what's the point of transporting you to a different location? But I guess that's besides the point. Here's more lore. Let's read. Oh, it's not lore. Madmen turmoil surreptitiously in rituals to beckon to the moon to uncover their secrets. That was quite the mouthful. There are a couple areas in this game where I feel like you're meant to die just to get to a new area. And I don't feel like you should have to die, but the game pretty much forces you to anyway.
Oh, merciful God, help me. In the name of the healing church, cleanse us of this horrible dream.
So, we did hear an NPC. Here it is.
Oh, please leave me be. Don't take me, please. Oh, please, dear gods. Oh.
So, I came back here the original time in quite a few different uniforms. I came back here in the Charred Hunter garb. I came back here in the original Hunter garb. I tried the original Sullied clothing. The Healing Church outfit is the only outfit that she accepts as a friend. And because of that, unless you're in that outfit, you cannot send her back to a safe location. And we don't exactly have the Healing garb yet, Healing Church garb yet, so we can't recruit her. So we can keep going up, or we can go down here. This is an area where I died the first time, because these enemies can actually capture you in a single swipe and scoop out your eyeballs. I hadn't leveled up much. Even now it nearly kills me in a single strike. But that's something that can happen. If you have both of them here still, and you just have that attack happen, it's likely you're gonna die. And they only drop pebbles, even though they do such ridiculous damage, but, I mean, what can you do? So the thing about these Yarnamites is they don't have any weapons or armor or anything, they're just... they've given up hope and they're here in the cell with everybody else. They do attack you, rarely, if you interrupt them from their rest, but they're not focused on attacking you, unlike the main area of the first part of the game. So, as you can see, there's another one of those beasts. These beasts can either be extremely powerful, or once you get to the later points in the game, they're just something that exists. They have magical powers, they're kind of a weird essence thing that happens. I usually try to bait them into attacking to step behind them, but they also have a kick attack that can be major. Once they do the whole blood tinge thing, they become faster and a little bit stronger. So that's a thing that happens. I think the whole thing it was trying to do with the see-through cloth was kind of the burlap bag that they're carrying. I think they try to toss corpses possibly inside it. But as we progress through the game, we'll find out some things that will allow the kind of some of the things to make a little bit more sense. I'm actually going to go all the way up this time as opposed to trying to go to that area. That area has the boss, but I'm not really prepared to go to the boss yet anyway. So we just got twin bloodstone shards. We're not going to defeat that one right now. I want to run up here and actually stop this lantern. And the interesting thing up here is there's kind of a strange creature sitting on a throne. And I wanted to point that out specifically because we will come back to that later. I won't be live streaming for as long as the last live stream, but I did want to kind of show off the new area, that we're on a new tombstone altogether. We haven't interacted with that one yet, but we'll get there.
What is it? Farewell, may you...
What I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to take a look at the chalice that we got. So as you can see, we have the ritual blood that is required, but we need 1,000 blood echoes to be able to activate the chalice as a place that we can go. Which, since we have the thick cold blood, I think we actually may have enough that we're able to do that. And we'll set it down and start actually on our first chalice dungeon. The ritual is finished. The chalice rests upon the altar. You may now explore the dungeon. And we will. As you can see, the depth is 1, where we have an open privacy type of thing going on, which means that anybody can join our dungeon at any time. And so we'll enter the dungeon and start right away. I think the depth is just the level we've made it to. Not all of them have a ton of different levels that you can go through, but they do have bosses, and not all the bosses are in the main game of Bloodborne, so it does make it kind of fun to go through. There's a specific boss that I made it to the last time I was playing. I saw them as a character in the main game. They didn't attack me, they didn't have any dialogue, but they were a boss here in the dungeon, which is maybe kind of interesting. There's usually a door at the beginning. I guess there's not the first one, that can give you some items or an extra pathway to collect things. These are supposed to be hard extra areas of the game. So this is not a part of the main game, but it will help us with getting souls and leveling up to proceed through the main game. So rats. I mean, we've seen rats before. A couple of hits and they die. There's usually an item back here, but there's not this time. So we haven't seen whatever these are in the main game area, but they are technically there. It's just not something we've experienced. I am jumping into the chalice dungeons a little bit earlier than what would probably be recommended, but it's okay. So that symbol that was popping up meant that we were oiled, which means that fire damage does extra. There are traps, like Dark Souls traps up here. Just like in Dark Souls, we'll time it right. I got hit by an enemy that was on the other side. That's a piss off. I'm gonna run this way. There's a bunch of rats usually in this area, followed by a bunch of items. The main point to dealing with rats is make sure they don't gang up on you, because their damage will stack, and it really sucks. Like I said, don't let them gang up on you. So this is what I'm going to be probably doing in the next live stream, is attempting this a little bit. I wanted to get in, find the new area to proceed onward, and interact with the NPCs. I wanted to at least show the NPC that you didn't get a chance to see yet, and the fact that the little girl who was an orphan, who lost both her parents right around the same night, the night of the pale moon, or the night of the blood moon, or whatever you want to call it. Hopefully you like this live stream. Tell me what you want to see, what you look forward to in this game, and I'll see you all in the next live stream. Also, let me know if you're a person who knows what I'm talking about relating to this. If you want me to be interested in the moon presence or to stay with the Hunter's Dream, that type of thing. There's at least 3 endings to this game, which I got the original one, which was Become a Great One. I think there's Stay and Watch Over the Hunter's Dream, and I think there's also a different one. Stay and Watch Over the Hunter's Dream, Become a Great One, and probably Awake from the Nightmare is what I'm guessing. Which, Awaking from the Nightmare would probably be the best ending, but it would also be a very quick one, I imagine. Anyway, enough talking about the endings. I will see you all in the next live stream, and I can't wait to see the next ending that I'll get in this game. I'll add one more thing here at the end. As for Dark Souls 3, I have decided that I will likely play it again, if people want to see it on the channel, to obtain another ending. So if that's something that you're interested in seeing, do let me know, either in the comment section here, or you can message me on Twitter, I think, post on my page, whatever, tweet to me. Yes, follow me on Twitter. I may not post a ton there, but I'm trying to get some external links outward that aren't just YouTube sending a notification that's usually late about the live streams that are going on. I'm babbling though, so I'll see you all in the next live stream. Bye-bye. I'll see you later. I missed the wave function. I should probably do the wave function. You know.